Hello, good morning. I hope you had a great morning so far. We are here and we have a great start to the morning. We got up early. Outside was a little bit rainy and overcast, but not like Arizona. We woke up in the outskirts of Hartford, Connecticut. We ate breakfast, got in the car, and it was pouring, and we made it through the traffic. We crossed the state line on over to Massachusetts, to Springfield. And why we came here is NBA Hall of Fame history was in the making here. And we have, do you want to introduce yourself?
My name is Paul Lambert, A-M-B-E-R-T. Yes.
And he works here at the Basketball Hall of Fame for, you said 15 years?
Yes.
15 years, yes. And before you worked here, where were you employed before? Where did you work?
I worked for the NBA for many years.
In New York?
In New York, exactly. But I did league-sponsored events all around the world. So I traveled a great deal. Yeah.
So with you, basketball never stops.
No.
Awesome. So I am so excited.
Yes, happily I love basketball, which it was just a choice.
Same.
Yes.
That's why I am thrilled. I feel like a little boy right now when I came into the office. He has pictures all over, like 170 pictures, I would say. I don't know. There's the whole 360, and you get to see who he meets through the years, through his career, and I'm sure that he has so many stories and so many great things. So I am like a little boy in a candy store right now. But right now I need to focus and hold my excitement. And the reason being is it's important to talk about leadership. And I'm sure that he has a lot of experience related to leadership. So first of all, in the game of basketball, obviously you have met a lot of people with a lot of leadership and influence. So could you tell me one person that you really feel has made a positive impact on your life? Who that person would be and why?
Oh, so many. First, I must just correct one thing. We're not the NBA Hall of Fame. The NBA is one of our constituencies. We represent all of basketball. College basketball, high school basketball, women's basketball, international basketball,
I'm so glad you told me.
All of that is here. So that's important. NBA is important for part of our life, but only one part of our life. We're the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame.
It's N-A.
N-A-I-S-M-I-T-H. Naismith. He invented basketball. It's named for the man who invented basketball.
Right.
Exactly.
I love the story too.
Yes.
Behind it. But now,
back to your question.
Back to the question. No.
Yeah.
Oh no. It's okay.
Okay.
No. What was the person that you feel really inspired you and learned so much about his leadership, his or her leadership? Who is that person that comes to mind?
Well, first, I came to basketball from a strange life, in that I grew up working in the theater before I got into basketball. I never thought I'd be lucky enough to work in professional sports. I just worked in putting shows together, which led me to the NBA by accident, and they kept me. Because the NBA combines sports and entertainment beautifully. And I could speak both languages. The NBA, of course, was run by David Stern in those days, who is a great leader. Jerry Colangelo, who we spoke about earlier, a great leader, inspirational, smart, honest, decent, and visionary people, both of them. A gentleman who ran the Hall of Fame, who's in the Hall of Fame, Dave Gavitt, comes to mind. Such an intelligent...
Is it G-A-V-E-T?
G-A-V-I-T-T. Gavitt.
Thank you for correcting. I always have to ask for clarification
No,
on
that's
spelling
fine.
the names.
Sure. He's in the Hall of Fame, actually. He founded the Big East. He was responsible for the Dream Team in 1992. He was a former coach. Great man.
Dream Team 92. Great.
Great man.
I'm going to grab the baby for
Please.
1 second. Don't mind?
Exactly. Asher, come on over.
Come on.
Does he want to hang out?
Yes.
Good.
Okay.
It's Asher.
So,
A-S-H-E-R.
yes. So, can you give me one example that you saw what Jerry Colangelo did that you were like, oh, wow, you have something special?
Oh, so many. When the Hall of Fame had many challenges sitting by the side of the highway in Springfield, Massachusetts, which happens to be where basketball was invented, but it's a small city in western Massachusetts, not strong economically. A lot of challenges that the Hall of Fame had for many years. When we opened this museum in 2002, the Hall of Fame was struggling financially.
Really?
Yes. Folks we went to see Mr. Colangelo, who said, in effect, what took you so long? You know, and when we spoke with him, and he said, I will help. And he did. He's a man who sets goals, who is strong in his convictions, honest, fair, but never stops moving forward, creative in his approach, understands people and works with people, just like you. Yes, hello again. In a very personal way, but never stops moving the ball forward. It's inspirational, and you have to go with him when you have such a strong leader. And he helped make us as successful as we are today.
And now he's a chairman for
He is.
this
Yes.
since 2009?
He's been the chairman for quite some time, and of course also as a member of the Hall of Fame, recognized for his great work as a contributor to the growth of the game in Phoenix and around the world. Yes, I know.
So, do you feel that the game of basketball helps teach youth and children to understand the meaning of a good leader and discipline, commitment? Do you think that?
Okay.
Sure.
He's rocking and rolling. Yes. Yes.
I'm trying my best. So, do you feel that the game of basketball really helps children to improve their leadership skills?
Yes. Basketball is unique in its combination of the individual and team sports. The best players in the history of the game can't win unless they play as a team. It's the nature of the game. You have to take your game and blend it with your teammates and your coach, and all have to work together for the success of the whole. Yes, that's right. I know, he's looking at me, which is very
like,
cool.
Oh.
What are you saying? Yes. And I think the point guard, Bob Cousy, we have an award we give, the Bob Cousy Point Guard of the Year award, talks about the need.
Yeah, and he was with
Celtic.
Celtic?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Before my time.
Yes, but great. Great. Brilliant. You should watch on YouTube. Go back and look at Bob Cousy. C-O-U-S-Y. Cousy. Look at his video. So much fun. One of the first really creative passers and floor generals. Just a great player, back with Bill Russell in the great Celtics teams.
Huh. And also,
But the point guard has to be a leader on the floor. He has to make his teammates better. That's his job. He's like a coach on the floor.
same with Steve Nash in Phoenix.
Absolutely.
Made everyone better.
Brilliant.
And everyone wanted to play with him as well because people knew, that they would get the ball from him.
That's right. And not just get the ball, but get the ball in the right place to succeed.
Right.
That's
exactly.
Right.
And everyone became so happy because everyone was winning.
That's right.
And there was a lot of fun. They never felt that it was a grind or, but unfortunately the Phoenix Sun never won the championship for him.
Very close.
Very close.
I was there. It was very close. Yeah.
Yes. The Spurs. They are the ones that didn't let us overcome.
And the Bulls.
Oh,
Michael.
yes, you're right.
Yes,
in 93,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Such a good memory. Okay, so sometimes I notice that the NBA players will speak highly of some specific head coaches.
Mm-hmm.
That means some coaches have strong leadership as well, and while other coaches, people are kind of, and just deal with it until that coach may fire or get transferred. So there's some coaches that are, for example, right now this year, Boston Celtics, the head coach, Brad Stevens, yes. He is such a young coach, but very young man. But for some reason, he has such strong leadership that players work harder for him and seem to play harder for him. And I think it's just really interesting that he has it. He has something at such a young age, while some coaches who have been coaches for many years don't have it. So
I think Asher should just hang out with me all day. I like having him here. There's all kinds of coaches.
There you have plenty of toys, plenty of basketball. So he'll be kept busy all day.
Exactly. Pikachu sitting over there.
Pikachu.
Yes. From my sons when they were little. Yes. But coaches are important at all phases of of players' lives. So many players will tell me the most important coach and person often in their life was their high school coach, who helped them see the game in a bigger way, who helped understand that they could be more than just a great athlete. They knew they could run and jump and dunk the ball, fly around, but they had never seen a bigger version of themselves or the world or the potential of their life that the high school coach helped them see so often.
So the starting point for them.
That's right.
The first person to believe in them.
And to let them see a bigger future for themselves. I mean, the job of a college coach, of course, is to develop that person, to balance that critical time of their life when they're going to school, when the world is open to them, their mind is opening to them, and at the same time to continue to develop their hopes of being a professional basketball player, or not, but develop their game.
That's interesting. They have that perspective. I love it.
The second, it's okay.
Cool. I can say since you mentioned that, it makes me kind of look back of my old high school days, having a coach. His name was David Hamilton, and now I understand what you mean, because he was the first person who really believed in me. And when I spoke about how I wanted to improve my skills and my game and all that, he would always say, work hard, be consistent. And so he was probably the first person who really encouraged me to become more. So thank you for sharing that. And you were mentioning something?
Just with the pro coaches now, you mentioned Brad Stevens and the Celtics. It's become a trickier job in that so many players enter the league as very young players now. 19 years old, 20 years old. They're very young. From my eyes, they get younger all the time. Very young. So the coach has to work to help these young men continue to develop, to deal with all the pressure that comes with being very well paid, very public, out there in the world with so many high expectations of you and very little forgiveness. Because people expect a lot of NBA players and WNBA players and all. That coach has to be able to balance the development of the person make the team work with all the egos and stress and challenges of being 82 games a year. So very tiring, and travel and all like that. And at the same time, they have to win. They have to win. Yeah, I know, you're a winner. I can tell.
So the way to succeed, if the whole team is on the same page, that is the best way, and they work together and they support each other.
Yes.
It's almost like a family.
Absolutely.
You know, they just lead and go in the right direction.
So they have to, they have to trust the coach.
Trust is
Coach
very
Stevens is brilliant, for example, at making the story about the players. It's not about him. He's the glue in the middle. He's so smart. And they all talk about what a good man, what a decent man he is, and how they trust him and they want to play for him and they work together great. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's why, as we were chatting here, we were hoping that some things that he would say could really help with your leadership, so that you could become more and achieve your personal dreams, your personal goals. And the last thing I wanted to ask you is, when you look into this camera, as you're looking here, I want you to tell your final important message that they will bring home and leave this video inspired to start working on their dream.
Asher, do you want to shift over? Go see Dad. He has a message to share, obviously, too. Very important message to share. Exactly.
Important message.
The basics of in any profession these days, first professionally, is to stay open to life, because you never know what direction your life will take. When I was growing up in the theater, I had no idea I'd end up working in basketball. It was an accident, and I walked in for 1 week's worth of work, and that's 25 years ago. The other point, just of course, as people, is stuff we all know. Be decent to people, be kind, take care of each other. We're all in this together. And then it'll come out all right in the long run.
That's a good message.
Yeah.
I think one of the most important things is how I always comment that you can sit with someone and you can chat with someone, and you can talk and talk and talk. It's not what you say, but how you make them feel. So if you walk away, that person feels really good, like, wow, they listened to me, they understood me, I felt heard.
Respect.
Respect, trust. I mean, everything starts from there, and from there, like, opportunities will just come up. And
show me respect.
Respect.
Right.
So an R from the forehead out. Yeah. So thank you so much for your time. And
Yes, I know. Highlight
so
my
you have a great week, and then we'll see you next time.
Take care.